New Testament, you will see this little phrase salted into the language of the New Testament over and over again. For instance, in that passage in John 14, I mentioned the end of the verse says that Jesus is preparing this house so that where he is, there we may be also. Have you ever noticed that? He wants us to be where he's going to be. John 17:24, Jesus in his high priestly prayer prays this, Father, I desire that they also whom you gave me may be with me where I am. Jesus wants us to be with him. When he gave his assurance to the thief on the cross, do you remember what he said to him? He said, today you will be with me in paradise. How many of you know God wants us to be with him? Jesus wants us to be with him. Paul explained it in his own death, and he said this, we are confident, yes, we're pleased rather to be absent from the body and present with the Lord. When he wrote to the Philippians, he said, I am hard pressed between the two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. You see how this keeps reoccurring over and over? God wants us to be with him. And after he teaches us about the rapture, at the end of the verse in 1 Thessalonians 4, he gives us this little caveat, and thus we shall always be with the Lord. Speaking of heaven, have you noticed that hardly anybody talks about it anymore? Someone said, we talk about eschatology, we don't talk about heaven. Why don't we talk about heaven? Because we're so enamored with earth. We're so enamored with all the stuff we have down here. We can't get our eyes off of it. Every year I go to Louisville and I speak there to the Southern Gospel Music Quartet Convention. And there's a lot of folks that go to that. And I always say pretty much the same thing somewhere in the time that I'm there, that I want them to know how grateful I am because they have preserved the music of heaven. Nobody else writes music about heaven except country and western people and Southern gospel. We have forgotten it. We don't write hymns about it. We don't write worship choruses about it. We have become so earthly minded, we don't want to worry about heaven. Often people tell me they don't understand why we should be concerned about heaven. I mean, after all, if you're all heavenly minded, you're no earthly good. Have you heard that? But C.S. Lewis answered that question pretty definitively in his classic Mere Christianity.